What's up, guys? I'm finally back. Finally got a brand new video. It's been a while. It's been over a month. I've actually started shooting like 3 different videos, and for whatever reason I would have like weird lighting, or I wouldn't capture exactly what I was thinking I was, and so I just almost like writer's block. Not that I've ever really been a writer, so I don't know exactly what that's like, but I had something going on, you know? So I was like, all right, whatever, man. I'm just gonna pause for a little bit, then I'll come back, I'll figure it out. So if you look, you can see my truck behind me right there. So I'm actually not in my truck, I'm in a whole different vehicle. Now, if you remember, if you've been watching, or if you have been watching, nice, I appreciate you. If you've been watching and you remember stuff I've said, you're a real fan, which I don't know why, because this isn't even a B-list or C-list, D-list YouTube channel. I mean, this is, we're way down there, okay? I mean, I'm like, you know, I'm under 300 subscribers. So if you're watching and remembering stuff I say, you're awesome. But a few videos back, I mentioned that I got my wife a new car, okay? So I'm actually in her new car, and it is a 2012 FJ Cruiser. So I'm gonna put in some clips, I'm gonna show you all about it. And I've actually done a couple little mods to it already. So not a brand new car, new to us, and we're pretty excited about it. It worked out really good. I talked one time in a video about basically my financial strategy, how I paid off my truck in a year. And in that video, I talked about how I had made some, you know, poor choices financially in the past, you know, about buying vehicles and gotten upside down. So anyway, I finally got myself right side up, got a truck, and I've got that paid for. That's good. But Eureka's car, I had a RAV4. And basically before that, I had a Buick Encore that we had, you know, for her car. And that was where I made a mistake. I'd gotten really upside down, bought the RAV4, was still upside down, but I felt like it was a more solid vehicle, better vehicle, and no complaints about it whatsoever. Great vehicle, okay? Bought it brand new, got a pretty good, you know, discount on it. It was at the end of the year, the end of the body style for that body style. It was an 18 model, so 19 was a new body style, so they put like a $3,000 rebate, which is big for Toyota, okay? Toyota don't typically put very large rebates. Got into that car and, you know, drove it for over a year, almost 2 years. Was still, you know, upside down for most of that, but I was like, hey, at least we're in a solid car. It'll last a long time. Had no issues with it whatsoever. Well, the car market, as it has been for the last year and a half or so now, is insane. So one day I looked, and the RAV4, like, trade-in value was more than I owed on it, so I was finally kind of right side up. Now, you could argue that, I mean, by the time I've made payments and all these things, you know, I still ended up losing some money because of bad decisions, but if I was going to get out, that was the time to do it. We traded for a 2012 FJ Cruiser. So I was like up in the office one day looking at the trade-ins, and I was like, we got a FJ Cruiser? And I'm like, man. So I'm like, hey, where's the keys at? I want to look at it. So I just told him, all right, put my name on it. I want this thing. Just so happened Eureka was bringing the RAV4 over to the lot to get the oil changed, because I had driven my truck that day or whatever. So I was like, hey, you need to come get your oil changed or something. And as I was going out to look at it, she was pulling in, so I like motioned her over, come over here, show her the FJ, and I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And she's like, oh, that's awesome, because we'd been thinking about something like that. FJ, 4Runner, Jeep Wrangler even, you know, I wanted to stay Toyota, but Jeep Wranglers are cool too. So she liked it, and I was like, look, if you like this and you think you like it, I'm going to buy it, okay? Because here's the thing, FJ Cruisers, you'll pay a lot for them. The market is stupid on these, but at the same time, it's almost like a modern classic, okay? So I don't think at any point we'll really be in bad shape. So one week, I'm a little bit upside down in a RAV4. The next week, the car market shifts, and I'm actually got like some positive equity in it. So I just go ahead and trade, and I buy this one. Now, because the market's high, of course, yeah, I pay a little bit for the FJ, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's going to end up being a great vehicle. We're just going to try to keep it. Same thing with the truck, going to pay it off. You know, try to pay it off in a year or two, and then just keep it, and then maybe in the future buy like a bigger family car if we have kids, you know, that sort of thing. So anyway, let me show you a little bit about the FJ Cruiser. Let me show you, just kind of give you a walk around of it, and just show you just show you about the thing. Just show you, what am I trying to say here? Let me show you our FJ Cruiser. here's the interior. One thing I really like, it's got these body match panels. Okay, so apparently that's like an extra thing. They don't all come with that. Some of them just have like black textured plastic here. So I really like that. It's body matched to the vehicle. All right, so all of these have a vinyl floor. This one particularly had the rubber mats. Okay, now I bought a new set of these. I just haven't picked them up yet. They've came into the dealership, but this one is shredded. So I just thought, man, they're pretty cheap, and I get them at a discount, of course, because I work at the dealership. So I bought a new set. Let's look inside here, though. So here's the dash. So what's pretty cool is it's got these white face gauges. All right, now these actually light up orange. So everything that illuminates orange. I think that's pretty cool. All right, and one thing I like too, tying in all that white trim, is around the radio bezel. I guess that's a bezel, dash trim, whatever you want to call it. It's body matched as well. I think that's pretty cool. The radio, I'm really debating whether or not to change this like a CarPlay unit, but for now it works. It's just so hard to get rid of because it works really well, and like the buttons have a nice feel to them, you know, nothing sticky, nothing acts weird. Like the knobs have like a nice, you know, feel to them and everything. So it's like, in its time, you know, 2012, that was a premium radio. Okay, another nice thing too is it does have USB, and it works, and the Bluetooth works. If it didn't have Bluetooth, I mean, definitely I would swap that out, but someday I'll probably do CarPlay. All right, and the other thing is it does have a backup camera. Even though it's not in the radio, it actually pops up right here in the rearview mirror. Okay, so at some point I'll probably change it, but anyway, another thing I like about this radio is, check this out. When I go to start the car up, FJ Cruiser. So now where that's like an LCD screen, it's probably gonna be flashing on the camera, but pretty cool though overall, you know, pretty neat thing. One thing I like too, it's got these like funky gauges, okay, these little pod here. All right, so it's got a compass and temperature, and then it's got a it's like a pitch meter. I don't know what the word for that is. That lights up at nighttime. It's kind of cool looking, you know, you're driving around at night and that lights up. So I love how simple the interior is. It's like extremely just basic. There's nothing crazy going on. There's nothing really, you know, it's just simple, you know. I like that. I think it's cool. So let's see, it's probably too bright right now. Let's see if I turn these on. So these glow kind of white, and then like the needles and everything is orange. It's probably too bright though. You can't see the radio. Like everything around the radio lights up orange. So like around the knobs here, it's almost got like a little halo that lights up that's orange. It's kind of cool, you know. And then of course all these, everything, like I said earlier, is orange. So one thing to talk about is the seats, okay? It's hard for you to tell because I've got the sun behind me here, so it's probably gonna bleach out the shot a little bit. The seats, to be a 2012 model with a little over 100,000 miles, are in surprisingly good shape. When I got it, it had seat covers on it. Okay, the original owners had these seat covers on it. They were a Cover King seat cover, so not cheap, but they didn't look good. They were kind of ratty, which I'm glad they put those on because it protected these, you know. It had a couple little stains when I got it. They must have seeped through the seat covers. I was able to clean those out, so it's really, they're in great shape. The only thing that's worn is this armrest. If you look, you can kind of tell it's a little ratty looking, and all the padding is worn down. You see this one little point kind of protrudes here. That is an elbow hurter right there. It kind of hurts your elbow a little bit. This one, on the other hand, is in great shape, so I think I'm gonna try to get one of these and replace it. But overall, pretty good. You know, the interior pieces, some of the plastics are scratched up. You know, it's not in perfect shape. Look, this shift knob's got some little scuffs on it and things. I'm gonna do something different there anyway. So overall, pretty cool though, you know, not in bad shape at all. So here's one awesome thing about the FJ. All right, the leather steering wheel is in like almost perfect, like pristine condition. Okay, I am a sucker for a leather steering wheel. All right, as you remember from my 4Runner video, I love a leather steering wheel. Okay, so much so that I was willing to spend like $55 to put one in that 4Runner that I ended up selling. But anyway, this, when I first got it, I opened up the door and it had one of those big, like, goofy covers on there, you know, the big fat, like, they slip on and look kind of trashy. And I was so worried that, because some of those, like the cheap ones, they got like these little rough things inside to make them grip. And I was so worried like that would have, you know, if it'd been on there forever, it'd worn the leather or stuck to it and damaged it. I pulled it off and the leather was perfect underneath. It just needed to be cleaned up a little bit. So I was so excited about that. Now some of the trim on the steering wheel, you know, it's a little scuffed up and stuff. Like there's some little scratches, and there was some goop on here I had to get off. Actually, there's still a little bit. I don't know if like the lady that had it, like, and there's actually some right there. I scraped a lot of that off. I don't know if it was like some type of fingernail polish stuff. I don't know, but either way, it still ended up turning out pretty good. You know, it came out pretty clean. Again, you know, like you go to the door panels and stuff, like some of these hard plastic surfaces, you can't tell so much on the GoPro video, but you know, they're scuffed up, like right here. You know, you can tell somebody's like worn a ring, and then like, you know, scuffed up these door handles, things like that. I mean, it's not perfect, right? It's a 2012 model. You get close to the dash here, you can see some like little funny, oh, I'm trying to get a shadow here, see some like little funny spots, you know, things like that. It's not perfect, okay? Not by a long shot, but still pretty cool. So here's the cargo area, all right? This is the one place I haven't really cleaned yet. I cleaned out everything else inside. I just haven't really done much back here. It's not nasty or anything. I like that it already had this big mat. Again, vinyl floor underneath. So here's the coolest thing. It actually came stock with a JBL subwoofer, all right? So this one, this particular FJ, not that you could get these super loaded out, but it came with JBL sound, backup camera. It actually came with a 17-inch wheel, which was a kind of an upgrade. I think some of them came with like a 16. And it came with a little cluster up there that I talked about on the dash. The body match panels that match everything, so pretty nice one. Something that's funky about these is this rear door opens out. It's not a hatch, it's like a barn door type thing. It just swings out, so weird but kind of cool. The thing, I guess the one drawback to that is if you wanted to sit back here in the rain, you know, with a typical hatch, you could sit back here and have like a little picnic if it's raining. With this one, you don't have that, but it's still really cool. All right. So first thing I did when I bought it, ordered me a little Toyota hitch plug. I do that. I did that on my truck as well, so I thought that was cool. Just a nice little touch, you know. The hitch didn't look like it had ever been used. I don't think they ever towed anything with it at all. If you look under here, it's already got the little 4-prong plug for hooking up for a trailer. So like, you know, if you got like the brake lights and stuff. One thing I did, I put a Toyota exhaust tip on it. That was actually on my Tacoma when I bought it. I already had it, okay, so I went ahead and bought it. Another thing to point out, it's got park assist, so these little sensors, they do have some blind spots, so it's got the little sensors there to help you out. Now, I'm missing this piece right here. I have it, I just haven't put it on yet because it actually bolts from the inside, so I gotta figure out how to get back in there and put the little bolt on it. Something I think is cool, I love the taillights on these. The last couple years of them, 2012, 13, 14, maybe before that, had this style taillight where it's like, it's not just a red taillight, you know, it's actually kind of got some depth to it. So you got like the kind of silver trim here, and then like the clear lens for the turn signal. So I think that's pretty cool. So the turn signal is actually amber instead of just, you know, like a red turn signal. I think it gives it like a neat, you know, it's kind of stylish looking. I think that's cool. So the wheels, these are not the factory wheels. These are actually a 4Runner accessory wheel. Needed tires when I got it. Had like these Bridgestone Highway Tread kind of tires on there. So I just went ahead and bought me a set of Falcons, just like my truck. I've had such good luck out of those, I thought, hey, why mess up a good thing, right? So I went ahead and got those. These are the flat gray 4Runner TRD wheels. Some people like on forums call these SEMA wheels. I don't really know if they were unveiled at like a SEMA show or something, but anyway, so that's what I did to it. Just went ahead and put those on, and I think it looks killer, because riding around the Knoxville area, I have not seen another I've not seen another FJ with those wheels, so I think that's pretty cool. Another thing that's pretty crazy is the back door. Actually got to reach in here. It's like a suicide door, like on an extended cab pickup truck, okay? So it opens backwards. Kind of weird, kind of cool. It's actually roomier back there than you think it is. I've had people ride with me a few times, but not bad, you know. I don't think I've actually sat in the back, so, but it's not bad. It's not bad. So that gives you an idea of the FJ. My wife loves it. She's really happy with it. I was a little worried going from the RAV4. You know, the RAV4 at the time was the biggest vehicle she had, right? She'd had smaller SUVs. I was a little bit worried getting into this since it's more of a truck, you know, SUV. Might be a little too big, but she's ended up loving it. She likes driving it. Same thing with my truck, though. You know, I knew if she could drive the Tacoma, she could probably drive a bigger SUV. The other thing is, you know, it is rear-wheel drive. So this one is four-wheel drive, but I mean, it's, you know, if it's not in four-wheel drive, it's rear-wheel. So I'm like, okay, I hope she don't pull out in the rain and like floor it, you know, 'cause she's been used to, you know, either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicles. But so far, she's done really good. She's a pretty cautious driver. So anyway, just kind of backtracking a little bit. I had that 97 4Runner, ended up selling it, okay, and finally got into this. Again, was thinking about a few different vehicles. It's just this one popped up and loved it and have not regretted it at all, okay, not at all. So I've already done a few things to the vehicle. Like I said, kind of in my little walk around there, put TRD wheels on it, put a Toyota Tacoma TRD, well, it wasn't really TRD, I guess just a Toyota, you know, exhaust tip on there, just because I had it laying around. It was free. Typically I think a black tip would look cool, but I mean, I had that one for free. It was chrome, and then with some of the silver accents, I thought that looked cool. All right, I went with the gray TRD wheels because I thought it looked cool against like the white and the silver. So, you know, you got like some black plastic trim, you got the white on the vehicle, and then you got that silver trim. So I thought that gray kind of almost made like a color gradient, you know. I guess if it was a gradient, it would be more like white, silver, gray, black, you know, because it's all spread out over the vehicle. But still, I think it looks pretty cool, you know. I think it looks good overall. I'd like to put out some more videos here soon. I'm really hoping to. My wife's in Japan for about a month. She went to visit her family, so in my free time, I'm not going to have her to spend time with, so I really hoping I can focus on my videos when I get a little free time. I still want to do an iCamper Skycamp mini review just to really show, you know, setting it up, taking it down, and just show you what I really think about it. And at some point, I think I may put it on the FJ and take it off my truck. So we'll see what happens. But hoping to do a few Tacoma mods, and I'm hoping to do a few FJ mods, all right, other than the things I've already done. Okay. Anyway, guys, if you like my videos, please like and subscribe if you're watching. I appreciate it. Not terribly far away from 300 subscribers. We're in the twos, so I'd like to get up to 300 here shortly, and I'm still shooting for 1,000, and then from there, we'll see what happens. But if you're watching, I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Hope you have a great day. Later.